What's the what is the most important thing that you saw that you don't think is being grasped in the rest of the world?
Uh, Conditions are far worse than I expected. I mean, there is a, military coup kind of extraordinary conditions now. Basically, there is kind of an invading forces, and these people are going after house by house and raid, and with their endless military resources, they crack down every single house, and they do it one by one, city by city. It is. I wasn't expecting this. I thought that there's some of the places that when you go to protest and Shabias attack you, it's not that. It is they come house by house and they arrest every single uh, person they can hold up. It doesn't have to be. Nobody has to have any kind of crime or any kind of revolutionary work. Just to being 20 years, 22 years old and seeing suspicious enough to get arrested. And they are FSA, but it's weak, and so this uh, these people just under the assault of the regime forces every single day, every single night. And when I was there a couple of weeks ago, it was terrible, but now it's even worse because the tanks are in the street now. It wasn't like that before. So basically, there is no life. They hide. If they still didn't get caught, they hiding somewhere. uh, they cannot walk at all in the streets. Anyone can, it's just far worse than anything you can imagine. Oppression is maximum. I don't think could be any worse than this. uh,
Well, I mean, the thing is, it could be worse. That's the
it could
problem.
be
That's
worse.
it could be
It's
worse.
yes. I mean, I wasn't. I was saying 2 weeks ago it can't be worse. Now it is worse than 2 weeks ago. And now, as we know, they now siege, Hamas, Zabadani, uh, Homs, and they invaded these suburbs of Damascus.
Let me ask. This is an important question. Did you see any places where it wasn't so bad?
Uh, all those cities were first they were under the control of FSA, and now they all tank. I mean,
Not all of them. I mean, and all those there were parts.
they close
Yeah.
suburbs.
Yeah.
This when the Sunni Arabs that the uh, source of the rebellion. They are under the conditions, but they keep going at it, and they arrest more people and they kill more people every day. And when I was talking to this, for example, activists that they work in front of computers, and they were telling me that very soon they're going to get gun and they're just going to join to FSA because this computer thing, spreading the word, doesn't do any good anymore. They've been doing it for 10, 11 months. So, I mean, they think this way, they consider getting guns, but also just people, locals also consider getting guns. So, very soon these people, in one way or another, and probably through some Islamist radical groups, could be more easily defined. So the civil war we have been talking about, it has not arrived yet. But you know, it looks like in maybe a few weeks, it's going to be people are going to get their arms and they're going to I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to go, can go after neighbors. They think that, been helping the security apparatus. Like Harasta, city like Harasta, half of them, different background, people who have different backgrounds, and they're going to go after them because they are suspicious that when the regime, for example, took the city back, these are some of these people, of course not all of them, but some of these people who told them, you know, where are the safe houses that the activists live. Now they are going to go after them, and of course there will be many casualties that could be just innocent people who have different backgrounds but who happen to be uh, you know they might just get
We're not
killed
children.
now.
We can say what backgrounds. I mean,
Yeah, otherwise Alevis, Christians, uh, Nusayris, there wasn't that it wasn't Kurds around, but basically Alevis, the main uh, so I mean we are I think is nearing civil war that we will be talking about could
and we talked about this a lot last night, and I'm sorry to make you go over it again, but we were talking about both of our inability to see anything constructive that can be done from the outside that would actually keep this from getting worse.
I definitely think that Assad forces must be distracted using all their resources on its people. Okay, they have over 100,000 of army. They have endless resources. They can use bullets all they want. But they're doing this because there is nothing else they worry about right now. Uh, but if there's an active uh, you know help outside help of especially guns to FSA, which Saudi Arabia and Qatar have been talking about that. I saw yesterday, today, and if a country like Turkey, take the lead to say, okay, we are going to, create some kind of buffer zone, maybe not within Syria in the first step, but in Turkey, and just invite, anyone who wants to run away from the regime. Then, then the Assad forces, Assad regime has to, take this kind of outside but tangible pressures in consideration, and they might not be able to use all their army on its people.
Or they might become more desperate and it might internationalize the conflict to keep this from happening.
Uh, yeah, could be, but it's already. I mean, they already kill plain terms. They harass and they do everything they can right now. I don't know what else they can do. They roll their tanks. They shell mortar shells from outside the city. I mean, they do every. I don't know what else they can do at this moment. They already at maximum. Uh,
Well, do you believe that they've already gone to maximum? They're at the limits of their military capacity and their capacity to externalize the conflict and to create problems for Turkey, problems.
well, if countries like Turkey and I mean, Arab League is very much fragmented right now. I don't know if they can do anything, but I think countries have to step up right now. Like Saudis say they can provide arms, they must do it. Qatar says the same thing, and Turkey is the country who can do something, and yes, Assad might play whatever they got then, Kurds, PKK, it's a risk. Uh, that's the problem that, everybody is waiting, everybody. US is waiting, UN is waiting, Arab League is waiting, Turkey is waiting, Arab League, and, uh, and Assad does what he does best, going after people. Uh, Today is the 30th anniversary of 1982 Hama, for example, when they killed 40 or 50 or 30,000 people. And today, Syrian forces are again blocked, roads going into Hama, and they might do just what they did in 30 years ago. Uh, exactly same thing, and we are watching and talking. So
Yeah. Let's go through the list of questions one by one, and just to summarize, when we go through the list of things that can be done by the international community, which isn't a community, which is all competing great power and small power interests to try and exert influence over an incredibly unstable region right now. Neither of us could think of one obvious thing that was clearly morally right and did not have terrible dangers associated with it. I mean, that was what we were both concluded, right?
Right, but I want to add one thing that from the ground, that's how I felt that some of the security, some officers in military and also in the police. Uh, I mean, they look, uh, you know, regular people who cannot leave Assad regime because they have kids and they have families. They cannot defect. I am sure there are thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. They're 30, mid 30s, 40s that they just cannot leave because if they leave, they have kids. These are the people, and also a lot of just regular people that who do not join the opposition because they think that they cannot carry their families with them, and they just take a parallel. They stick with the Assad regime. If something that buffer zone, no fly zone, like actively helping FSA without any kind of seeing the need to hide. If some countries come out and okay, we help FSA. Here is we are sending 100,000 of Kalashnikovs and blah blah blah. Then such moves might trigger. Those are the people that in between to join them. Now they don't join because they don't see anybody's helping. They don't, and they can see, as I see it, that FSA groups, even though they have, they might have good intentions to topple the regime. Many people think they don't have power to do it. They don't have enough men.
Thinking one step beyond that, you encourage people to defect, to join the FSA regime, and then what's the outcome after that? How does it get better as opposed to degenerating into absolutely savage civil war that exceeds even this?
Yeah. Well, once defections rise suddenly, instead of 10, 15 people every day, if it happens 1,000 people, then, it just would accelerate the balance of power within the country. Then, army would be even more unwilling to assault on their people because they would think that, in a couple of weeks, these are the people who are going to be the